software stuff?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So if you want to, you can get into SAS Enterprise Guide. That's what we're going to focus on first. There are SAS software tutorials. These SAS software tutorials can be located at the following website. So in the past, I downloaded them and posted them into my Blackboard course. But we've got some people that are working on making them better, and I want you to have the best available. So we're just going to take stuff off the website. However, on rare occasions, something's not on the website. And when that happens, I will post in the discussion board, and I'll have links to the missing tutorials. FYI, that has already happened. So if you go looking for SAS EG1, you're not going to find it. But if you go to the discussion board, it is posted there for your convenience. Okay? You all know that you can subscribe to the discussion boards. I use the discussion board some. It's not quite as critical in this class as it is in my Saturday class, because we see each other every week, and you guys can stop by and see me. But I do use the discussion boards quite a bit. I encourage you guys to use the discussion boards as well. So I only meet once a week. But yeah, there's a little button when you get in that says subscribe, and then it's have to like go back and check and see if somebody posted something. It'll send you an email. It's like, hey, go check the discussion board. So that's there. That's for the software tutorials. Tableau. We have a lynda.com. It's a 4-hour lynda.com video set. I don't know that I would watch it from start to end. I was watching it last night. It got a little boring. Not going to lie. But for the stuff that I was trying to do, it had videos on it, and it was quite useful. Okay? So if you want to watch it beginning to end, you're going to get a much better, deeper understanding of Tableau. If you just want to use it as a resource for, hey, I want to do this thing, is it on Lynda? The other thing to do is your favorite YouTube has really great Tableau resources. As I find them, I will post them if I think something's especially good, but I have not come across something better than YouTube at the moment. So, also, same thing goes. If you find something that's just like this really awesome tutorial, send it to me, post it on the discussion board. I like it when you do that. We're all in this together. And I'll share stuff whenever the Saturday students post stuff. I'll share stuff with you guys too. All right. So let's explore a little bit. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. Here we go. So what I'm going to try and do first I think I'm actually going to, so what I try to do, just FYI, is once I do this, I'm going to be able to pull up SAS Enterprise Guide. It's going to be on my video. I'm going to be able to write on my screen on my video, but I can't capture what I write on the screen. So what I try to do is like have a little summary of what I did, so you can go back and kind of follow along. The first thing I'm going to do, let's start with chapter 3. Okay, so we've been talking about this apartment rent data. Okay. So what I want to see if I can do is if I can replicate the things that we saw from the textbook. Okay, so if I go back to my textbook, so this slide right here, can I replicate the mean, the median, the mode, and the quartiles? Okay, can I replicate the measures of variability? Can I replicate this histogram? That's what we're going to try and do to start with. So, have you guys at this point all kind of gotten into Enterprise Guide? I've already clicked a couple buttons. Can everyone access Enterprise Guide? First question. You're welcome to follow along. You're also welcome to just sit back and relax. So from where you're sitting right now, it should be on the start. I'll show you here in a second. And it should be SAS Enterprise Guide.
Wait, no, this is not that.
So again, you're welcome to try and at least log on right now. And then you're welcome to either follow along or just watch, depending on what you prefer. Just see how And I didn't think it would take this long to compare. There we go. All right, so you guys should have the Be Epic, right? That's where you start. So from your start menu, it's one of our nice buttons you're going to use a lot, so we already have it ready for you. SAS Enterprise Guide 7.1. Yours will pop up. It shouldn't have all this stuff because you haven't been playing with this as long as I have. Generally, I just exit out of that. You should have a screen that looks like this. Yes. If you look down at the bottom right down here, what does it say down here on your machine? No profile selected. Okay, so guess what we're going to do real quick. So some of you may have something. If you've already went through SAS EG 0, then you've already set this part up. If you haven't, we're going to set it up in class right now. So if we go to our website, which is walton.ur.edu/enterprise.
What if we already have the my server?
Then you're good.
You good?
You just hang out for about 3 minutes. Check your email, do whatever you want to do. Yeah. Text a friend. Alright, so how we're going to find our SAS tutorials, if you go to the Walton Enterprise, it'll take you to this. You click on the class exercises. You scroll down to SAS, and this is where the second link takes you directly to this place right here. So our SAS 0, which is getting started with SAS, if you've already done this, you're good to go. You can hang out for a few seconds. If not, we're going to do the piece you need to do. So let's make this a little bigger. So what we're going to need to do, so if yours says no profile selected right here, then what you want to do is click on the no profile selected.
So my server and restricted is cool. It doesn't think. It
Yes.
doesn't say. Okay.
Yes. So we want it to say my server restricted.
Okay.
That's awesome. If it does not say that, if it says no profile selected,
Okay.
how many of yours says no profile selected? There's several of them? Okay. So really quickly, no profile selected, you want to follow these steps. Oh, there's one of them. You're going to click on profiles. You're going to click on add. Alright, so click on this. You click on the profiles, it's already there. You click on add. There, we're going to follow the directions again. The name, you can do any name for your profile. I called it my server. You can call it your name. You can call it, what was I thinking? Anything you want. Okay. The server that you want to type in is sasms.walton.ur.edu. So this can be, the name is Kiefer. The server, we're clicking remote, and the machine is sasms.walton.ur.edu. The port's already set up for 8561, so we're good there. You're going to type in your username and password. Your username and password.
I think
And then the authentication domain is GACL.
Oh, yeah.
It's our General Access Computer Lab. It's the GACL. Yes.
It's just like sign in with your normal username and password. Does that basically do the same thing? Like all these steps?
If yours already popped up and just said sign in, then yes, you should be there. Yeah. If it didn't pop up and do that, we've got to set this piece up to make it work. Yeah. Then you should be able to click on save. And then you'll want to select whatever you called it and put it set active. Once you set it as active, you can close this bar or close this menu, window, whatever you want to call it. And now at the bottom, you should have it with whatever you named it right here. So my server, your name, what was I thinking? Everybody good? Yes. Perfect. My server just said that.
Yeah, that's why it's not very
Yeah.
So do you keep logging yourself out?
Just one.
I mean, no, this isn't.
All right. Everybody good? My server? My server at the bottom? Yes?
Yeah.
Everybody good?
You're on that.
Yes. Wonderful. Awesome. Excellent. Okay. Let's play. So, I should have told you to do this first, and I forgot. Back in your wonderful little, where you found Razorback stores. So back on your Blackboard, under data sets, if you want to follow along, then there's apartments underscore chapter 3. That's what I'm going to be using. Okay. You can save that to your S drive, you can save it wherever you want, or I actually already have it stored in our SAS system. So you can do it from an Excel, you can save it in your S drive, or you can follow. I'll have to put things down. So what we're going to do is we're going to go get some data. So file. And most of the time I'm not going to step you through all of this. This is just the first time, so you're getting the full show. We're going to file, we're going to open, and wait, I want to open some data. Now if you follow the SAS tutorial, it has you doing this kind of down in the bottom left-hand side. That's one way to do it. But if you do it that way, you can only access SAS files. I'm going to show you a slightly different way in the way that I recommend for this course. So we're going to start at the very beginning, which you should see. You're going to click on Servers, and then it should say SAS App, and that's the only thing there. Click on it. You have a choice between libraries and files. Okay. Today we're going to focus on the files. When you focus on the files, then you have a whole directory of folders there. We're going to do the D drive. D is for data. So we want data. There's a whole lot of stuff there. Some of the stuff you have access to, some of the stuff you don't. Whatever you do, please don't delete stuff. The only thing that I ask. Okay, the thing that you definitely want right now is the ISYS 5503 with my name attached. And then when you get into that folder, there's a folder for you. Okay? Here's the funny thing. If you click on somebody else's folder, what happens? This is the only time you get to do this. I got into their folder. Okay. This is a great time to talk about academic integrity. Yes, you have access to everybody else's folder. No, don't use it without their permission. Okay? This is beneficial because when you work on a group project, then we can all pick Kelsey's. Sorry, you're in the front row. You're like a target. We can all pick Kelsey's file, and we're all going to agree that that's where we're going to put our group project stuff. Okay? But in general, don't go searching for people's assignments. Academic integrity issues, bad, and more bad. Okay? So, the one that you do want to go into is the ISYS 5503 shared data sets. And you will find an Excel file that says Apartments Chapter 3. Double click on it, and in comes the data. Yay! So for this, we're going to skip all the fun steps because there's only one column of data. When we click next,
Yeah.
We get to pick which apartment we want or which
Right.
worksheet we want. We click next. It reads in the data. We click next, and we click finish. That, when that happens, when we need to, we'll do more stuff with that later. Let's go. We've only got a few minutes left. All right, we have our rent data. Here we go. Let's do some stuff. Let's say I want to describe my data, and I want to do some summary statistics. Describe summary statistics. Remember, we're trying to find all those summary statistics that we had in the past. I can take my rent and move it over to my analysis variable. Because rent's the thing I want to do stuff with. On this left-hand toolbar, I have statistics, and I have basic. And I can choose which statistics I want to display. Well, I want the mean, I want the standard deviation, I want the variance, the minimum, the maximum, I want the mode, I want the range, all the things that we were already talking about. That's what I'm clicking. Okay? Before I leave this screen, I'm sorry I can't make it much bigger, but you have it in front of you. On the right, yes.
So the screen is this canvas.
Yes. Describe. Summary statistics. Yes.
I'm on D drive. Where do I go and look for the data file? Little back.
D and ISYS shared ISYS 5503 shared data, and it's the apartment.
Oh, right.
All right. So we're in the data. We're in the basic. We're going to click all the things that we want to see. The one thing on the right, it says maximum decimal. Instead of best fit, I'm going to limit my decimals to 2. Because when you do best fit, you get like 8 decimal places, and then it's all convoluted, and so I'm going to limit it to 2. Okay? Next thing I'm going to look at, so I have my mean, I have my mode, I'm missing my median. But if I go into percentiles, look what shows up. So I want my lower quartile, my median, and my upper quartile. So I'm just checking off the boxes, trying to find all those things we had in the past. For the additional, it even gives us the coefficient of variation, the third one down. The coefficient of variation. And we're going to play with this a lot. So this is just like primer, 10-minute intro to stacks, e.g., okay? So we're going to spend more time in this every week. You also, your assignment for this week is going to be to go through the tutorials that really step you through all this. Okay? So this is just a quick little demo. Our plots, we wanted a histogram and we wanted a box and whisker plot. The results, nothing really there. The titles, we're just going to leave everything there. And the properties, it just tells you what's happening. So we're going to click Run. And we'll see what happens. So some stuff pops up. This is the SAS code going on behind the scenes that you're not having to program. And then ta-da! We've got the mean, the standard deviation, the variance, the min, the max, the mode, the range, the upper and lower quartiles, the median, and the coefficient of variation. And if you go back and check, they're all the same. We have a graph, we have a histogram. Oh, wait a second. Does that histogram look like this histogram?
No.
Oh, man. So we got a histogram, but it doesn't look exactly the same. It's kind of weird. Oh, histograms. Let's go, let's do something. We also have a bar chart. Sorry, a box and whisker plot. Does that look like that? Yeah. What's the one big difference?
Vertical.
Vertical instead of horizontal. We can get past that somewhere, right? Okay. So back to this. We want to make this histogram in 5 minutes or less. Okay. So if I have output and I want to change it just a little bit, up here's a modify task button. So we're going to modify task. When we modify tasks, we're going to go back to where the histogram came from, which was the plots. And now I'm going to click Use Midpoint. Okay. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to specify, I'm going to do the little click down, I'm going to specify the number of bins. Okay. So on my PowerPoint, I had 8 bins, if you'll trust me. So I'm going to change this to 8. I'm going to change this to 8. And let's run it again and let's see what changes. Here it asks if you want to replace or if you want to make a new output. Either one's fine. You can click yes or no, it doesn't matter. That's not what I wanted. There's not even 8 bins up there. I don't know what it's thinking.
I didn't get what y'all were doing.
Okay, all right, going back. Let's try this again. Okay, so we're going to modify our test. We're going to go back to the plots. We're still going to try and use the midpoint, but now we're going to specify the midpoint. All right, this one we've got to think about. Okay, we've got to think about it. So if we were to go back to like our frequency table that we had, right? We were going from like 525 to 549. And from 550, we didn't actually make this, but trust me. From 550 to 574. Da-da-da-da-da. From 700 to 724. Okay. And if we did that, that's going to be the 8 classes. It's going to give us the 8 bars. So now we're going to figure out, we're talking about midpoints. So for our first, what is the midpoint here? Now I'm going to make you do the math. We add them together, we divide by 2, and we get 537. Down here, we add them together, we divide by 2, we get 17. So are we okay with midpoints?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And then what is the step? So if we're looking from here to here, what's the step? 25. So you're doing 12. I like where you're going, okay? So we're going to start at 537. 537. We're going to end, so we're talking about the midpoints, at 717, and we're going to step it by 25. Let's see if this works. We're doing it kind of fast. Let's see if it works. Ta-da! So we can make it work. It may not be the best ever, but we can make it work. Okay? How am I doing? Here, 2 minutes. Okay. We had too much fun at the beginning. All right. So next thing, really quickly. Actually, you know what? We'll save this for next time. So next time what we'll do is I'll actually, you guys can play with this because it's on my slides. So here's our exploring. This is us exploring. So this is basically what I did. Okay? So here's the steps of what I went through, what I clicked, what I changed. Here's what I changed. And then I'm actually, next time, we're going to do a little bit in the programming piece to see what happens if I tweak just a tiny bit of things. Can I get everything that I'm looking for? Okay? Where we're going in the last minute, you've got assignment 2 coming up. Assignment 2 is pretty big. It's double what assignment 1 is. Don't let all the words, it's like 5-6 pages. Don't let the 5 or 6 pages scare you, right? I give you a lot of introduction. I give you a rubric that covers like 2 pages because I like check marking things off because it makes my grading faster. There's a task 0, which are practice problems. Don't turn anything in for task 0. They really are just for you to practice. There's basically two textbook problems. There's an executive summary, and there is a appendix that goes with it. Okay? So the executive summary, you want it nice, short, clean, concise. The appendix has all the stuff answering all the relevant questions. You're going to learn to take screenshots. You have 2 weeks to do this. Not just 1, 2 weeks to do this. Because it's bigger. I'm not that mean. You're all like, how am I going to get it? 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks for this. Okay, 2 weeks for this.